In 1993, Fred Rogers wrote a private letter never meant to be found, but after his death, his family uncovered it in an old storage unit. In it, America's most beloved children's host revealed a side of himself few ever imagined. He admitted that his television persona, gentle, patient, kind, was only part of the truth. Beneath the calm exterior was a man who battled rage, carried deep emotional scars, and secretly saw a psychiatrist for years. He even questioned whether someone so broken inside had any right to guide children. Fred McFeely Rogers was born in 1928 in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, into a life of wealth and comfort. His family lived in a grand Victorian mansion. His father owned a successful brick company, and servants tended the estate. But inside that elegant home, Fred often felt abandoned. His mother struggled with mental illness, and Fred, despite being surrounded by luxury, carried a painful loneliness. His wealth made him a target. From age 6 to 11, he was relentlessly bullied, overweight and soft-spoken. He was chased home after school, mocked as Fat Freddy, and once thrown into a drainage ditch. The cruelty pushed him so far that, at just 10 years old, he thought about ending his life. Yet out of that darkness grew a rare kind of empathy. Fred found refuge in music, often spending hours in the family music room. By age 12, he had composed more than 200 songs. The piano became his voice when words failed. He also created puppets. Daniel Striped Tiger was his first mirror for his deepest fears. These early creative expressions would become the foundation for what later changed children's television forever. Fred's physical health was as fragile as his spirit. He faced one illness after another: scarlet fever, asthma, whooping cough, and rheumatic fever. Weeks spent in quarantine, often in silence and solitude, taught him how isolation could shape a child's soul. These early experiences sharpened his sensitivity and his ability to notice even the subtlest emotional cue traits that later allowed him to connect with millions of children watching from their homes. Despite this, Fred thrived in high school. He was student council president, yearbook editor, and even founded an anti-bullying program that reduced incidents by nearly 80%. He believed emotional wounds were just as real as physical ones, an idea that guided his life's work. After a rocky start at Dartmouth, Fred transferred to Rollins College in Florida, where he finally felt at home. There, he met Joanne Bird, the woman who would become his wife and closest partner. They bonded over music, humor, and deep honesty. Fred graduated magna cum laude in 1951, planning to enter seminary until he saw television for the first time. What he witnessed horrified him: pie-throwing, slapstick nonsense that felt disrespectful. In that moment, Fred decided his mission wasn't in a church, it was through a screen. He joined NBC in New York, but soon returned to Pittsburgh to help build WQED, the first community-supported TV station in the U.S. There, he created puppets, wrote music, and quietly shaped a children's show behind the scenes. But it wasn't until 1963, in Canada, that he finally stepped in front of the camera. Though shy, he agreed to host a quiet show called Mr. Edgersand. Children responded instantly. His calm demeanor was unlike anything on TV. By 1968, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood premiered nationally, with simple sets, real conversations, and songs about anger, sadness, and fear. He broke the mold of chaotic kids programming. He wore zip-up cardigans knitted by his mother, spoke directly into the camera, and never rushed. He believed children deserved honesty, respect, and time to feel. Behind the scenes, he met weekly with child psychologist Dr. Margaret McFarland, who helped him translate developmental theory into gentle, practical guidance. Even as the show gained national success, Fred remained grounded. He wrote personal responses to the thousands of letters he received, never form letters, always hands-tied. He treated each child's words as sacred. These notes became lifelines for many. One man, journalist Tim Madigan, credits Fred's letters for helping him survive his depression. But Fred lived simply, a vegetarian for much of his life. He weighed exactly 143 pounds, his symbolic reminder: I love you. 1 letter. 4 letters. 3 letters. He believed deeply in kindness to all living things and lived what he preached. During the Gulf War, when televised violence terrified children, Fred used puppets to help them process what they saw. He reminded families to tell their kids they were safe. Perhaps his most powerful moment came in 1969, when he testified before Congress to save public television funding. In just 6 minutes, his quiet conviction swayed a skeptical senator and secured $20 million for educational programming. He didn't argue, he shared a song. That was Fred's power, gentle strength. Even after Neighborhood ended in 2001, Fred's influence endured. He answered letters until his final days. In December 2002, he was diagnosed with stomach cancer. He delayed treatment just long enough to serve as Grand Marshal of the Rose Parade. Quietly, he said goodbye. On February 27, 2003, Fred Rogers passed away at age 74. The news of his death spread like wildfire, and millions mourned. He was gone, But his message, "You are loved, just the way you are," lives on.